Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn a new chapter, that's chapter 8, fractions. First, let us see what is the meaning of fraction. What are fractions? Fractions are equal parts of a whole. What does that mean? It means that when an object or a shape or anything is broken into equal parts, we can form fractions which are equal parts of a whole. There are two parts in a fraction. Let us learn what the terms are. The top number is called as the numerator, and the line that divides the both numbers is called as a fraction bar, which is represented as a sleeping line, and the number in the bottom of the line is called as denominator. So let's come again. We have two parts, that is numerator and a denominator, that is separated by a fraction bar which is shown as a line. Now, what does the upper number or the numerator denote, and what does the denominator or the bottom number denote? Let us see what it means. So the upper number or the numerator denotes a part, whereas the bottom number or the denominator represents the whole. That is, how many fraction pieces you have divided by how many fraction pieces your whole is broken into. The first fraction we are going to learn is 1 by 2, or also called as half. What do you mean by a half? When an object or any shape for that matter is cut into two equal pieces, each piece represents a half. So here we have a circle, a rectangle cut into two equal halves, and each equal half represents a different color. Same way we have two stars, and each star is a half. That is, half the stars are gold in color while the half star is silver in color. So what does it mean? One part out of two parts. So two halves together would make a whole, or one. So half plus half is equal to 1. Now, say I ask you a question. Which part or which fraction of the rectangle is red in color? What would be the answer? You can say half. The fraction would be half of the rectangle is red in color. Here are some more examples of different shapes cut out into halves. So just to make you understand, you have different shapes and different colors that are equally cut into halves. So how do I show this as a fraction? How do I represent it as a fraction? For example, the heart is cut into two pieces, which is pink and white. So if I ask you a question, which part of the or which fraction of the heart is pink in color? You can say half, because of the whole you have just one part that is colored as a pink in color. So we say 1 by 2, that is half is pink in color. Now let's see the next fraction, which is 1 by 4. What do you mean by 1 by 4? When a piece, an object or any shape is cut into 4 equal parts, each part or each piece that you get is called as 1 by 4th or a quarter. It can also be called as a quarter. So 4 1/4ths together make a whole, or 1. So 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 is equal to 1. So here you can see in the animation that the circle has been cut into 4 equal parts, and each part represents 1 by 4th or a quarter fraction. Here is another example of a square that's cut into 4 equal parts. So each part would be 1 by 4 or a quarter. So how do we represent 1 by 4? If one square is colored in yellow, we say the yellow part is 1 by 4th. In the second picture just below this, you have two squares that are colored in yellow. So what fraction is colored yellow? We can say 2 out of 4. So we say 2 by 4 are yellow. Now look at the third picture, which is on the right and the top part. We have 3 squares that are colored yellow. So what fraction of the squares are colored yellow? We say 3 out of 4. So 3 parts out of the total 4 pieces are colored yellow. So that is called as 3 by 4. Now the last picture shows all the 4 squares colored yellow. So what fraction represents yellow color? 4 by 4. So all the 4 squares out of the 4 cut pieces are yellow in color. Here are some more interesting examples of a rectangle cut into 4 different colors. So each shape or each piece that is cut is a quarter. A clock can also similarly be cut into 4 equal parts, and each part is a quarter. Similarly, the square is also cut into 4 equal parts, each part showing a quarter. Now let's see one last example of a fraction, which is 1 by 8th. So what is 1 by 8th? When an object or any shape for that matter is cut into 8 equal parts, each part represents 1 by 8th. The fraction is 1 by 8th, which means one part, each piece is one part out of the whole, which is 8. There are 8 pieces. So here is an example of a yummy pizza that has been cut equally into 8 parts. Now, so each part, that is each piece of the yummy pizza, is 1 by 8th. So now say I am feeling very hungry and I eat 2 pizzas. That is, I eat 2 pieces of the pizza. Can you tell me what fraction of the pizza did I eat? I ate 2 upon 8 because I had 2 pieces upon 8, which is total. So the fraction would be 2 by 8. Now I am feeling even more hungry. I ate 4 pieces of the pizza. So can you tell me now what fraction of the pieces or what fraction did I eat? I ate 4 by 8 of the pizza. So I took 4 pieces out of the 8 pieces here. So the fraction is 4 by 8. Thank you, children.